Hello, dear friends. This is your weekly astrology horoscope. Before we get to this, I also want to announce that I will make a free webinar about Mars retrograde. So you're welcome to join us on my YouTube channel on the 22nd of October, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I will guide you and walk you through the most important things you need to know about this 2.5 months long period. So starting from the end of October through the middle of January, Mars will be retrograde. If you want to understand how this will affect us in general, which are the important themes, join us for the free webinar. I'm very excited to share this with you. And if you want a more personalized guidance, you can also get your very own personal Mars retrograde report. You can check the link below. And this report will be, of course, focused on your chart and the planets which might be triggered by Mars retrograde themes, and the life areas which will be important, and the exact dates when all of this is happening for you personally. So if that's something you are interested in, of course, feel free to get yourself this report. Now, let's move on to the upcoming week, which seems to be a pretty good one with some very interesting aspects and a little bit contradictory also. We have some very stable energies and energies that can help us to be more grounded, especially on some of the days during the week. But around the middle of the week, specifically on Wednesday, we have a more chaotic energy, a more potentially creative, but also difficult to navigate energy. So it's interesting how this will work. Now, let's start with the daily horoscope so that you know when we have all of those aspects. On Monday, Mercury is moving back to Libra. I'm saying moving back because Mercury was retrograde. A couple of weeks ago, Mercury was in Libra. So now Mercury re-enters this sign. And from one side, we need to pay attention to communication and compromises and negotiations and being able to not only express our thoughts and opinions, but also to listen to the other side and to really find the balance, So Mercury in Libra can really support negotiations, communication, compromises, and overall a softer interaction between people. So that's good news. And also, you might notice that you can find solutions to problems or tasks that you were not able to resolve while Mercury was retrograde in Libra. So especially if there has been a communication or conversation where you felt stuck or you couldn't find the solution or the direction or whatever, now you might find this new perspective and things can be kind of resolved in a way. So that's good news, of course. About Monday also, the moon will be in Aries until 5 p.m. So overall, the day can be quite active and it's a great time to initiate things, to start something, to really engage yourself with the external world and also to make some steps. Aries is a very, very active sign, a sign which supports us to be independent, to take risks, to initiate things. So overall, the beginning of the week can be quite dynamic. Around 5 p.m. on Monday, the moon will transition to Taurus, which will slow down the processes and will, from one side, bring more stability and also more grounded energy. So towards the evening, you may notice that you need a little bit more time, or maybe you need to relax, or you just need to be more grounded. On Tuesday, we have a fantastic combination between the Sun and Saturn. We have a trine, which is wonderful for productivity, organizing things, work, stability, and also to focus on the really important things that you want to materialize. The signs which are triggered are the air signs, so Libra and Aquarius. So what that means is that it's a great time to implement our ideas, to materialize our ideas, to turn them into something concrete, measurable, and practical. And also when it comes to communication, this aspect can really help with focusing on the right thing, focusing on different perspectives, and also to be objective. This is a great quality that this aspect can bring us, or a great possibility to be objective, to be rational, to be able to evaluate things properly. So overall, for work and for achieving some stable results, this aspect is fantastic. Also on Tuesday, the Sun has a quincunx with Uranus, so we might need to make some minor changes. There could be something unplanned or unexpected, so we need to be creative. We need to remain stable and grounded and focused because of the Saturn energy, but at the same time, we shouldn't stay too much into the old restrictions or expectations. Like, it's great to open up also for something new, maybe to try a new approach, something different in general. The moon is in Taurus on Tuesday, which also supports the more patient work, more grounded approach, maybe focusing on practical things, financial matters, and everything that involves or affects your material well-being. Then Wednesday is actually the most complicated day of the week. Mars is having an exact square with Neptune, which may trigger all kinds of misunderstandings or demotivation or confusion, or some kind of idealistic expectations which can lead to disappointment. So my recommendation is to be more cautious on Wednesday. Maybe you will need some time to relax or to slow down, which is totally fine. If you want to do something, you should try to find the balance between the rational and the irrational, because Mars is in Gemini, a very, very rational sign. A sign which is oriented on details, thoughts, ideas, very practical energy. On the other side, Neptune is in Pisces, which is about visions, imagination, creativity, but also illusions. So here we might be a little bit in the middle of a conflict between the rational and the irrational. So probably the best would be to pause for a little bit. If you are continuing a process that you have already started, of course, keep going, do whatever you can. But if this is about something brand new, perhaps you shouldn't make impulsive decisions. You should wait a little bit and then make the final decision or initiate the new steps. Because Mercury is also challenged on Wednesday. Mercury will have an opposition with Jupiter, which means that we may not be able to evaluate properly our abilities. We might exaggerate something. We might imagine something is bigger or more important than it actually is, or we may overestimate what we can achieve or the importance of the tasks we are focusing on. So the mind is challenged, and also the willpower on Wednesday. So perhaps it's better to do something more routine and not make radical, important new decisions and steps on Wednesday. The moon is in Taurus, which actually supports the same. follow the routine path, focus on stability, don't shake things too much, don't initiate some radical, drastic changes. Focus on your comfort. If you can, pause a little bit or take a rest, or just don't push yourself too much. That would be the best approach for Wednesday. On Thursday, we have a quincunx between Venus and Uranus, which can bring some emotional surprises. Maybe in relationships, there can also be new themes, new ideas, meeting new people or dates. So to surprise your partner, to do something interesting and exciting for them, or to initiate something different. That's also a great time. On the other side, Mercury is having square and a half with both Uranus and Saturn. And Uranus and Saturn are also in a square with each other. So this is actually a rare aspect configuration, which is quite challenging and which can trigger the mind, our thoughts, our ideas. So we really need to think under pressure, find solutions under pressure, and find the balance between the old and the new, Saturn and Uranus. So the mind can be especially triggered on this day. And it's also time to find new directions, new perspectives. The moon is in Gemini, which also brings the focus to ideas, planning, visions, expectations. So be careful with communication on Thursday, with the way you express yourself, your thoughts. And keep in mind that the most difficult configurations are also potentially the most resourceful. So yes, absolutely, this can be a difficult combination, but something great may come out of this, especially if we are really putting ourselves into the process or investing our energy or really trying to take some action, to make some changes. So Thursday can be a great day for some radical changes of ideas and plans. Friday is much more balanced. On Friday, we have a trine between Venus and Saturn. So emotionally, things might be more under control, more predictable, more stable, more reliable. Also, when it comes to financial matters, we can expect stability and good, rational, practical decisions. So both for negotiations, for financial decisions, for relationships, or even in business, to find the right compromise or the right solution, this is a great aspect for that. The moon is in Gemini on Friday, so also we can communicate better with other people. It's a great time for some social activities, for some planning, and for some ideas. On Saturday until noon, the moon is still in Gemini, and meanwhile we'll have a conjunction with Mars. So the mind can be especially active. We might be also kind of impatient, especially if we have some ideas that we are pursuing or we want to materialize. In communication, be mindful, because there is a chance for some confrontations or lack of understanding because of Mars energy. And as we know, Mars is about to turn retrograde in the same sign, in Gemini. So it's kind of a preparation. Mars will be in Gemini for quite a long time. Around noon, however, the moon is moving to Cancer, which can make the atmosphere more emotional. It can be a great time to spend it with friends, with family, with people that you love, or maybe to relax and just enjoy some time at home. And on Sunday, we have a quincunx between the Sun and Neptune. So it's a great time for creative work, creative expression, for some spiritual practices, for everything that will help you to get in touch with your sensitive part, with your imagination, with your creativity, with your ability to help others. So it can be a fantastic time, and a very emotional day, I would say, because the moon is also in Cancer. So we may feel oversensitive, over emotional, and that can be great if we are in the right environment, supported by the people we love. We can feel a warmer, closer connection. But keep in mind that people also tend to take everything personally. So you need to approach them with kindness, with gentleness, to be more delicate. So that, my friends, is our weekly horoscope and what you can expect. If you want to prepare yourself for this interesting Mars retrograde phase, please don't forget to join us on the 22nd of October on my YouTube channel for the free webinar. And if you want a detailed perspective about dates and exact themes that will be triggered in your chart, you can get a personalized report. The link is below the video. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel and what is important for you right now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon.